What's up with it, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you for joining me. Thank you for giving me more of your time, and hopefully I can help you help return the favor by giving you something to think on, giving you a different perspective of the truth in order to help you connect the dot that you need to connect next, so that way you can move forward in your own walk. Now, my last video I put out, I was talking about how peace should be our top priority and how in today's world we're not taught correctly how to gain said peace. And I can rant on about why I think that is and certain things like that, but at the end of the day, I can say the right words and the right line up, and still, unless you commit to wanting change, then you'll never be different. Now, with me, I am a open Christ follower. I am following in his footsteps in order to try to achieve the same consciousness that he did. I do believe that we are in essentially a game, or we're not, but you look at it like a video game. It's like everybody's on level one, everybody will die on level one. Excuse me. And because of that, I believe that I don't know, we just because the system is so flawed and the system is literally it's not flawed. That's a lie because it was designed to do what it does. But because the system is designed how it is to keep us in a state of low vibrations, to keep us as workers instead of as creators, then nothing is ever going to change. Now, with that thought, it's one of those things to where unless you're truly tired of feeling the way you do, of course, I don't know how you feel. I'm not inside of your body. I don't have access to your heart, which is intertwined with your soul, because of course, whenever stuff really hurts you, and like it's not physical pain, it's that deep spiritual pain, that heartbreak, that deceit, that manipulation, whatever the case may be, misunderstanding. But we're living in this reality to the point to where I don't know, I probably shouldn't have put that down yet, but we're falling short of the mark that we're supposed to be reaching, and that mark is our full potential. And you're not going to reach that mark unless you commit to following the greater laws of good and the laws of God that He's put into place. Because even though it's like, yes, I do believe that once you accept Christ, you're essentially brought you have the capability to be brought out of your fallen state if you do the necessary actions in order to do so. Faith without works is dead. Jesus didn't come to destroy the law, but to fulfill it. And this universe that we live in has natural laws. How dare you? I think it only does it if battle. Dang. But you know, we fail to understand that we are all intertwined. We are all connected. We are all a part of creation. The the idea of separation is false in my opinion, because everything you do, it ripples out and it impacts the seed that is our consciousness. So that's why, like someone like myself, if I can raise my vibration, then I will start to cause ripples to where others will also do so. But they have to they have to do what's necessary. They have to make the changes. They have to commit to the act of change. And most people don't want to do that. Especially, like, I think that's a big reason why, like, Jesus Christ, which of course that's not, I know that's not his actual name, but in the common tongue, you know who I'm talking about. But that's why people consistently deny his existence, because if they acknowledge it, that means they will be forced to change, forced to be different, forced to, hold on, let me read this real quick. Oh yeah, I ain't worried about that. But yeah, anyways, so we can, if we can change and if we can commit to the act of change, then we will begin to essentially, will change the frequency we resonate at, to the point that we will bring heaven down to earth. And that's like people don't realize, like, that's why hell is, it's related to the heel, because it's the lower aspect of the body. It's the material, it's the chasing the physical flesh, which in reality people don't realize they're a slave to their desires and they're a slave to their attachments. But and then you got the upper part of us, which is our temple. And even like in the scripture, it says that we are the temple of God. We contain it. The kingdom of heaven is within us. And even in the scripture, it says, seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, all things will be added unto you. So if you seek heaven first, you seek that kingdom inside you, and you seek to fix yourself, then the things that you need in this life will be added unto you in Most High's timing. But you have to commit to the change. And and I mean, like, people's like, oh, how do you do that? And it's like, man, you have to remain faithful to the what's the word? You have to remain faithful to the future version of yourself that you crave to be. Same thing, like, okay, I want to be, okay, for example, let's say you're a guy. Let's say you're, you know, skinny, or you don't have as much muscle as you would, or whatever else. If you want to be stocky, if you want to gain muscle, you have to commit to the act of working out. And you don't do it just when it feels like it, because you never feel like changing. You never feel like going to war with your flesh. But you have to have the discipline to know that it's necessary. You have to have the discipline in order to know that if you want to reach that version of yourself, you have to make the necessary changes. And it can be done. It's just about you committing to the choice. You realizing that whatever you're, look at that, what a good game. Whatever you're holding on to that's attached to your flesh and it's attached to your desires and your egotistical self, then it will continue to drag you down till you learn to drop the attachment that has you missing the mark of who you're supposed to be, of missing the mark of that true potential. But, anything that's not adding to your life and to your walk, you have to lose it. You have to drop it. You have to continue to push forward, and you have to make, but excuse me, but you have to make the necessary choices, because at every choice there's an opportunity for change. At every choice that you have, it could be, waking up earlier than usual. It could be hitting your snooze button. It could be watching one of the, one of these new disgusting worldly shows that are out, or it could be watching something that's more inspirational, something that's more instructive, because people don't realize that we're creatures of purpose. We crave purpose, and if you're not fulfilling your purpose, you're going to be empty. You're going to be broken. You're going to be just destroyed and you're not going to enjoy your life. And, you know, and it's like, of course, yeah, it's bad, but it can always get worse. It can always your bad situation can always be amplified into something that you never realized possible, and eventually it's going to. So that's why it's like we have to be aware of ourselves and what we're capable of. We have to reestablish that connection with the source that is outside of us, but also inside of us. But, I mean, it's all about small steps. It's all about, everybody always tries to do these things like and again for me, like I couldn't change until I came to Christ, until I committed to following Christ, till I made the change or made the decision to make the necessary change in order to become my best self. And that's what everybody's at a point to where it's like everybody's broken, everybody's hurt, everybody is in this place of pain, and yet we no one knows how to fix it. Nobody knows how to actually change and stay changed. And for me, it was like, yeah, once you commit to Christ and you learn about his teachings, you start to apply what he teaches, then you see the world kind of outside of your perception in a way. And whenever you start to do that, you start to kind of notice the good things that happen in your life, even though you don't deserve it. I mean, not that you don't deserve it, because that kind of goes with the whole fear, control mentality, but you begin to realize that the more so as you change, you start to look for the good a little more than you once did. And when you start to see the good, it helps you embrace the change just a little bit more. And, I mean, of course, and it's also different too, because most people in today's world are victims of their own success. Most people have learned so many things that they're just more and more indoctrinated with the truth, or not with the truth, sorry, with the well, some of it is truth, don't get me wrong, but it's like we have to unlearn what we were taught so that we can learn what's we were supposed to be taught. And that's where wisdom comes into play. And you don't get wisdom unless you have experience, and you don't experience stuff if you're too afraid to step out of your comfort zone. But just that's just, just something to think on. But yeah, I'm gonna get off of this kind of quick today. Or this session, I mean, a little tired. But thank you for listening. Um, and just, as y'all listen, like, please ask me questions. Pick my mind. Ask me why. Ask me like anything that your mind can come up with, because you doing that will help me get better. You doing that will help me connect more and more dots. But we have to start asking questions towards one another. We have to start moving differently if we want something different. But thank you for your time. Peace be upon you. I love you. Sleep well.